Hello and welcome to the Pillar to Post Sewer Lateral Inspection. Today we are here on behalf of sewer experts at address 368 South Sherman Street, Denver, Colorado 80209. And we are accessing a 3-inch cleanout in the basement. We are beginning the inspection looking into the city main. The purpose of me beginning the inspection looking into the city main is, first thing I like to evaluate on film, what is referred to as your tap. Now your tap is a connection from your 4-inch sewer line leaving the home, connecting us to this big 8-inch main line we're looking at here. It is important to evaluate the tap because even though we're in the alleyway, the tap and sewer line leading up to it are still the homeowner's responsibility. Now with that said, I did find a fracture at your tap. We're going to see a few of these throughout the line here. And these surface fractures are very minor in terms of damage, but are still a hindrance in the functionality. With a fracture present, and as we could see by looking at the bottom right corner of the pipe, we could see the lip or surface of the pipe has separated. Maybe if I make it a little darker, you could see right there. And with the separation present, this also allows for sewage and water to dissipate or escape the line. So I am suggesting corrective measures being made at this spot here. And in the next few feet, we'll see a few other concerns or conflicts. This is the original sewer line to the home. This is your VCP or vitrified clay pipe. And clay does have some strengths and weaknesses about it. We'll discuss along the way. Once again, we have more fracturing on the right side here. This one very minimal. Now we also have a portion of the channel or base of the pipe that has chipped away. Now this is unfortunate. But it is in between damages found in the line. And what this will allow is erosion over time. Clay sewer lines, in the last hour of firing the clay in the kiln, they give it a really nice salt treatment. And what this does, it gives it this nice slick surface that makes it virtually chemical resistant. But unfortunately, when that surface is broken down, this will allow for erosion over time. So I did mark this as well. Once again, it's right in line between the tap and the other conflicts we found along the way. And that surface damage is present at the top of the pipe as well. So here we go, moving back. Now it's very common to see offset or misaligned joints or connections in clay sewer lines. That does not necessarily indicate damage, more so that the pipe was shifting over time, which they are installed with shifting being a possibility. So seeing the lip or face of the next segment of pipe does not necessarily indicate damage. But voids with collapsed pipes would be a conflict. Now unfortunately what we have here is a void in the channel. The pipe has completely separated and there is just a good amount of earth exposed on the side here. If I could stick my camera in. So there's the lip or face of the next segment of pipe and plenty of sewage and earth around it. By the way, strongly advising corrective measures being made here as well. I did mark this out in the alleyway. Now, running through the yard, your sewer line starts exiting the home around 2 feet deep. First conflict found around 2-inch deep, so approximately 2 to 3 feet through the yard, and then 3 to 5 feet in the alleyway, all the way to the connection of the city main, which will be verified on the report. But either way, that void is in need of corrections as well. Fractures allowing for dissipation, although minor, are a conflict, but similar to that of the void we found. So this is a fracturing of the pipe as well. On the right side here, we could see that there is separation there, so strongly advising corrective measures being made there as well. And we're just going to see a few of these throughout the line. Now clay sewer lines with their flexible joints or connection process allowing for minor shifting. When these shifts occur, will allow the introduction of root systems to intrude or enter into your sewer line. So seeing an offset joint with root systems present does not indicate damage either. More so a general lack of maintenance. This one does look fairly maintained. One thing we're studying when moving through a sewer line as well is that solid discoloration on the left or right side of the pipe. That is what is referred to as your high water mark. And that is the indicator at maximum volume where your sewer water will flow. So say for instance you run the laundry, the shower, the dishwasher all at the same time, you typically want to see that high water mark somewhere between 40 and 50%. Now right here we have another minor surface fracture, not a hindrance in functionality, not allowing for sewage and water to escape, so I'm just going to continue moving back here. Fantastic. Alrighty. Now at every joint connection I do perform dissipation testing, meaning I simply stop and verify that water is either pooling at the joiner connection or continuously traveling down the line. When I see dissipation, I do mark it as a failure, unfortunately. And I did not see any major offset joints allowing for dissipation here today. Now we are going to see some abandoned tie-ins. There are a few ways to verify whether they're active or not, but the main one, or the simplest way to verify, would be reading the staining on the pipe once again. High water mark is very consistent here, but if we had an active tie-in or connection, we would see how the grease gathers where it turns into or enters the main line. And both of these abandoned tie-ins appear that nothing is flowing through them. So we have this fracture here in the pipe. This one I did mark up at the beginning of the parkway, or the driveway I should speak. Pictures will be attached to the report. But either way, surface fractures are unfortunately a conflict in functionality, similar to that of the other surface fractures we found. So corrective measures are strongly advised at that point as well. And now we're seeing some root systems growing into the pipe. We have behind this root system on the right side, we have what appears to be a separation there. I can't verify due to lack of visibility, but a possible conflict right there on the top right side. If you could see that orange appearance there, that does appear to be clay, but it is above the high water mark, or where the water flow rate is. So if it doesn't allow for sewage and water to escape the line, generally is something that I just recommend reevaluating every few years. That is for future functionality. As we would see, these are root systems, finer root systems growing along the pipe itself, not a hindrance in functionality as well, more so just a fine root system traveling through it. Apologize, that way. That's fine there. And then right here we have another one, surface on the bottom right side of the pipe. So we are going to strongly advise that corrective measures being made in the line. And this is at the location of the damage itself for the main line outside the home. I do also want to state that we are currently traveling through a shared lateral. Now a shared lateral is typically a shared responsibility. This is shared with address 366 South Sherman Street. They are aware of the shared lateral situation. And once again, shared lateral is typically a shared responsibility in terms of cost and maintenance. Now here's another fracture. Now this one is circular. It is running from the left to right side and is in the channel or base of the pipe. Unable to verify cause, most likely external pressures, but still strongly advising corrective measures being made here. Now whether these surface fractures are allowing for dissipation or not, some of the greater ones or minor ones tend to not heal over time. So this is why corrective measures are recommended. So here's abandoned tie-in number 1. And as I was stating previously, we're looking for staining on the pipe itself. If that was an active tie-in, we would see fats, oils, and grease kind of collecting at this point, or leaving the tie-in and kind of making markings or staining on the pipe. I do not see any indication of that. I have clear visibility of the kitchen drain line down here in the basement running to the main line itself, and also the neighboring drain line as well. These Denver Ys or previous mains outside the home were utilized when they would have grease traps installed for the kitchen line. Given that the kitchen accounts for a majority of the buildup in your sewer line, it was a thrifty idea, but unfortunately were not maintained over time, and most of the time do need to be abandoned and placed here. Fantastic. Moving along, now we're going to see the other abandoned tie-in on the left side right here. Once again, no staining indicating that water is flowing through the line at this point, so therefore abandoned. Now, at the top of the line here, in the next few feet, we are going to see a small fracture. Now, let me turn my lens down just slightly once again. here is where we have the fracture at the top of the pipe, or a slight break. Now, given the current condition of the line, I don't see any earth or earthworms present. I don't see any soils or anything intruding from that slight break. It could be inside of the connection of the pipe itself, and it's not a major hindrance in functionality right now as well. So with that said, here's where we transition from the original clay to one segment of original cast iron metal. Cast iron does appear integrable as well. Do not see any conflicts in the functionality of the cast metal. Typically, I will see grooving in the channel or base of the pipe. And then throughout the home itself, they are utilizing black plastic ABS. So, I am exiting the green line now, oh so diligently, as to only leave behind information. Here we are, pardon me. Here is our access point. This is the ABS cleanout, right here. And here is where we see the kitchen line currently active and coming from upstairs, right over here. Neighboring 366 kitchen line comes from this side and goes through the brick wall. The main line connection or tie-in is in the back of the home itself. So it is a completely shared lateral with 366 South Sherman Street. And just want to iterate, multiple conflicts found in the sewer line. We have voids, we have fractures, we have surface fractures, and everything that will be listed on the report in needs of corrections is strongly advised to have corrected. And I'm going to end my video now by saying thank you very much. This concludes our inspection for today.